Live from the Score Atlanta television studios in North Atlanta, this is Georgia High School Sports Daily, powered by IBEW Local 613.
I hope everybody is having a great lunch. I'm I.J. Rosenberg, president of Score Atlanta. I want to welcome everybody to the second edition of the Georgia High School Football Daily, powered by IBEW Local 613. Of course, we'll be here Monday through Friday, noon to 1, every day during the school year in our new studios here in Roswell. We talked a little bit yesterday how about the show will be formatted, but we'll be covering all high school sports, not just football. In the fall, we'll be covering cross country, volleyball, softball. In fact, we'll have some news and rankings today on softball. And we'll also bring in other sports. Real quickly, I did want to bring this up before we get to our breaking news because we are live. There is a massive police presence at Appalachia High School right now in Barrow County. The school is on lockdown. If we get some more updates on that, but we have been told that one person has already been life-flighted out of Appalachia. So that's going on at the high school right now, and we are a high school, show. So we do want to do those updates. Najee Wilkins, one of my co-hosts for the show. Najee, we got through our first show pretty good.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was
we got to talk about rankings. We got to talk about Mr. Georgia football, and you got to go back and forth. And we featured middle school football as well.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about middle schools today. And Najee, a lot of people don't understand. Right above us is our offices, and we're working constantly. Score Atlanta does a lot of things outside of high school football or high school sports, but you guys are up there working, pretty much day and night on all the information, that we put out on, of course, all of our platforms, including AJC.com, because we're, doing a tremendous amount for that. I want to tell people about the different ways to watch the show. Of course, you can watch the show on Peachtree Sports Network, which is available on Xfinity, YouTube TV, over-the-air channel 17.2. You can also watch us on the Atlanta News First app, the National Federation High School Network, as well as Zeam. That's Z-E-A-M, and that is the new CBS portal, all right, video and streaming portal that's used. So you can watch that, and you can also watch all our shows. We'll be on every night. We'll do an encore performance at 11 p.m. on the Peachtree Sports Network, as well as you can watch any show you want on our YouTube channel, our Score Atlanta YouTube channel. So I want to start with the headlines today. We call them the fast break headlines around the state. We mentioned yesterday about the Bremen quarterback. The good news is he was injured critically on Friday night, Carson Kimball. But the good news is his toes moved as a reflex, and he felt a burning sensation after he was given a shot in the abdomen. And that's his coach, David Russell. David said that he's feeling sensation in his toes. He says he's actually lifting us up. Yesterday, the coaches came into work, and everybody was kind of in the dumps and moping around. The first text I got was from Carson to me and all of our senior players saying, yeah, y'all fly around at practice today and kick McNair's butt. It's cool that he's been uplifting us. It testifies to what type of young man he is. So our continued prayers go out to him. And Najee, you want to continue with the headlines?
Yes, sir. So the next headline, we have Harris County is the fourth Georgia high school football team ever to start 3-0 versus three ranked teams. Those teams are Manchester, Troup County, and Carver Columbus. They beat them by 9 points or fewer so far in the season. One of their main guys has been Rand Ogletree. He's rushing for 360 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also has 6 catches for 97 yards. And he's averaging 90 yards on offense. So he's been doing this thing, and that's the next headline.
Najee, what's interesting about that is, it's amazing all these years of high school football, and they've been doing rankings. I think they've been doing rankings since the 1950s. But for them to just be the fourth team ever to start 3-0 against 3 ranked teams, that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. Hard to believe, too, with so many great Georgia teams.
Well, and it just doesn't happen very often. I'm sure there's been opportunities for it. Another headline, I want to talk about the Buford track sophomore Olivia Harris wins gold at the U20 event. Harris broke the Gwinnett County record in the 400-meter race during her freshman track and field season. She is one of the best track athletes in the state and continues to basically make headlines. Najee, I don't know if you've ever been out to Beaufort High School, but their facility is just tremendous. It really is, and not just for football. They built a new football stadium, but just all of their facilities. I mean, they have probably 5 or 6 full football fields out there. They use them obviously for JV and 8th and 9th grade and middle school and stuff like that. But if you ever get a chance to go to a football game, I know you've been out there for one, but just all-around sports. I mean, it's amazing what's done in Beaufort, and certainly want to congratulate Olivia on that.
Yes, sir. And then the next headline, Athens Christian quarterback Layden Bryson, he sets a new school record with 305 passing yards, and he had a touchdown, 225 yards passing through only 2 games. Of course, he is young, so going to make those mistakes, man. But to set a new school record being that young definitely says a lot and a testament of how good of an athlete that he is. So that is our next headline.
Yeah, and, Athens Christian, just another one of those private schools that, it's amazing, Najee, to when I was at Lakeside in the 1970s, because back then we had one private school, that was close to us, and that was St. Pius. They were right across 85. We never played them because they were in a smaller region. But back then in the 70s, you had St. Pius, you had Marist, you had Leavitt, you had Westminster, you had Athens Academy. You had a few other schools that were private around the state that played, but nothing like today. You didn't have Athens Christian. You didn't have Hebron.
Do you feel like the addition of more private schools has maybe helped the sport out too, just pertaining to football? We see great.
You know what? I'll
today.
tell you where it's helped. It's helped a lot of kids that maybe not have the opportunity to play on the public schools, on the big public schools. So, if you're in the North, because we're going to talk to Eric Godfree, the coach at Parkview, but if you're in the Parkview district, excuse me, and Eric used to, thank you, Ashley. Eric used to coach at Parkview. But if you're in the North Gwinnett district, there's 120, 130 kids that go out for football. So it gives a lot of these kids a chance to play. And then there's some parents that want their kids, to have that type of education. And I understand that as well. But I think it's a nice mixture. There's been probably over the last 15 years, I would certainly say that, it's probably 12, 15 new private schools, and they just seem to keep popping up every year.
Certainly.
And of course, it's helping now that, with the transfers and everything like that. All right, our next headline, Norcross senior Justice Fitzgerald is committed to Syracuse. She played in our inaugural Corky Kell basketball event last year against Baldwin, which Najee helped set up, which, by the way, we've got to work on because we still have some matchups to get done. But she's class of 2025. The Lady Blue Devils went 24-6 last year before losing to Grayson Rams in the quarterfinals. So want to congratulate Justice Fitzgerald on her commitment to Syracuse.
Certainly. And then number 6, I know you want to take this away, so I'll just start as a primer. But Carrollton's Joey King is the highest paid coach here in Georgia. A lot of coaches are making over 6 figures. I know this is one that you really want to put in, so I'm going to let you take it away.
It's great. I think it's fantastic that these coaches can make this type of money. I really do. Because if you think about it, if you look at what's happening in college football and the amount of money that not only the head coaches are making, but all the assistants, and even Alabama is the general manager of the team. I think he just got a contract for over $1 million. So, as far as these, and we'll put this graphic up in a second, and take a look at, the different, salaries for these schools and their head coaches, their head football coaches. And you can see right there, so Carrollton's Joey King is the only one that's making up over $200,000. And of course, Joey, $225,000. That's great. Good for Joey. Yep. Of course, pretty good player playing for him right now. Of course, Julian might be making more money than Joey.
Yeah, you look at the NIL. Yes, sir.
Rome's John Reed, of course, we know John very well from Corky Kell. He's been involved in Corky, of course, this year. Rome went through that horrible bus accident. Fortunately, nobody was seriously injured. But, you know, he's making $185,000. Then we've got Gainesville's Josh Niblett, $173,000. Buford's Bryant Appling at $167,000. Valdosta's Shelton Felton at $148,000, and Colquitt County's Sean Calhoun at $148,000. We're going to have to ask our friend Eric from North Gwinnett why he's not on this list.
Yeah, he does a good job.
But once this list gets out, I think, you know, some of these coaches are going to be going for some more money. But that, if you think about it, and if you look at the teams there, Carrollton, Rome, Gainesville, Buford, Valdosta hasn't been one of the better football programs in the state in quite a while, but I understand why their guys still making a lot of money in Colquitt County.
On this list, is there a name that surprises you? You've been covering high school sports so
let's,
long.
you know, let me take a look at it, and I'm going to look on my phone if you don't mind. Not really. I mean, there's, you know, if you look at behind Felton, you've got Roger Holmes from Dublin's making $138,000. Kit Carpenter from Dalton. Roger Holmes from Dublin's making $138,000. Kit Carpenter from Dalton. Brian Slack from Cook. Kevin Smith from Perry. Those are small schools.
They are.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But, you know, in those small towns, it means a lot. And I get it. I mean, you know, we have some friends in here in the studio I'm going to talk about in a second. And I do want to welcome Beverly Postel, who's one of our partners for the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic, and her husband's here. They're good friends of us. But, you know, I mean, real quick, Najee, it makes a lot of sense because football brings a lot to the school.
It does, and it puts a lot of pressure on these coaches to perform as well.
All right, well, we've got a lot of things coming up. Like I said, we've got Eric Godfree. It's going to be coming up from North Gwinnett. Next segment, though, we're going to take a look at the Georgia High School football daily headlines, and we're also going to do volleyball rankings. We'll be right back.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know, just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their athletic abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision. Our team brings it to life.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC equips apprentices with the knowledge and skills required to start a rewarding career in the sheet metal industry with programs in HVAC, industrial welding, and testing, adjusting, and balancing. Training is 100% free and allows apprentices to earn as they learn. Journeymen graduate with no student debt and have the potential to earn more than most college graduates. Visit our website to learn more about this opportunity at careersinsheetmetal.com.
Georgia High School Sports Daily is brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Electrify your career.
All right, welcome back to the Georgia High School Georgia High School Sports Daily. I.J. Rosenberg, Najee Wilkins. We're sitting here in Roswell in our new studios, and everything looks good and everything sounds good. We're going to be continuing to improve the show. Like I said, one of the things that we're going to try to do is we're going to try to bring in players and allow them, to make their verbal commitments. And that doesn't have to be a football player. It could be volleyball, softball, whatever. But we're going to be doing a lot of cool things in here, a lot of shoulder programming. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of other sporting teams using this studio for different things. We've already gotten a lot of calls on that. So, we're really excited about that. All right, every day we will be talking about the Georgia High School Football Daily. Okay, well, one word difference with us. And the reason for that is they are our partner in this TV show. And if you got the daily today, all right, then you saw that we, there was a really interesting story on the number of players, okay, that are in the NFL that played high school football in Georgia. So 157 former Georgia high school players on NFL rosters. That means, Najee, that about 1 in every 12 NFL player right now on a roster played their high school football in Georgia. That we are the #1 state when it comes to NFL players per capita. And, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, it really is. Every NFL team has at least one Georgia player, and the Packers lead the league with 12. I mean, we talk about this a lot, Najee, about how good. I think a couple years ago when we started the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, we really started to realize just how deep the talent not only is today, but really has been for about 120 years.
And that's a credit to you because you actually started that and put that together and to honor the great players that come through our state. And we've seen so many. We've seen one on Friday night. A.J. Terrell played for Westlake. Right. Got honored, got his jersey retired. I mean, we see Albert Kamara and Norcross playing pretty good with the Saints. We see so many great players come through the state. And now we have the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame platform to honor them and what they did for the city.
Yeah, but but if you think about it right now, that the count is 157 Georgia high school football. That's amazing.
Yes, it is.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, you probably have states that at the most maybe have 4 or 5.
Yep.
You might probably have a couple of states out, I would say, in the Midwest that have probably 0. And we don't want to go through this, but like I said, go to the Georgia High School Football Daily, and because it has information like this, and it lists all the players that are playing. And just a couple that sort of stand out. Josh Dobbs, who's been bounced around the league, had a couple of great games last year. He's playing for the 49ers right now, played his college football. I mean, it's just amazing to go through this. Amarius Mims from Bleckley County, who's with the Bengals. You just keep going. Nolan Smith Jr., who was at Georgia's with the Eagles. Trevor Lawrence, of course, is from Cartersville. Yep. Went to Clemson, was with the Jaguars. Had a great year. Taylor Henneke, who used to be with the Falcons and, of course, was traded.
At Collins Hill?
Yep, Collins Hill. Played at Old Dominion, broke a bunch of records. Jamar Gibbs, who played up at Dalton, went to Alabama, and at the Lions. So, I mean, it's really impressive to see the number of NFL players on that, and make sure to check out the daily. And we'll have more information on how to get there. In fact, I think, it would be great to have a QR code when we do their segment so people can just sign up right away. All right, we're going to bring in our man in Macon, and that is Seth Ellerbee. Seth, of course, has been working for SCORE probably, I think, about 6-7 years now. He lives in Macon. Actually, when I was with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution from 85 to 99, his dad was my last editor. And Seth's dad, Tim, it was interesting because one of the last things I did before I left the newspaper was cover the chase, the Roger Maris chase by Mark McGuire, and we spent a lot of nights on the phone. I was going back and forth from Chicago, of course, because Sammy Socha was chasing McGuire. So, all right, so we've got Seth Ellerbee with us. Seth, how you doing?
Doing well, AJ.
Yeah.
You guys doing good in the studio?
We're doing well, and I know you got like a little studio there that you set up in. And Seth, of course, does a tremendous amount of work on our scoreboards. He's really the man behind all the the different scores that we do for all the sports, and he leads our crew on Friday night. So we're going to talk volleyball and softball. Thank you, Najee. And we're going to talk about the rankings. And Seth, before we get into the rankings, Seth, Tell us a little bit about the strength of softball, of girls softball in Georgia.
It's incredible. Some years I feel like I've done really good with these rankings. I think it was 4 years ago, every number one team I had ranked, all but one of them won a state title. And then the next year it looked like I didn't know what I was doing. The depth of talent is incredible from top down, especially if you look at 6A right now. I mean, you can't look at 6A without talking about Buford and East Coweta. They played in the championship series last year, and Buford just a 12-time champion, back-to-back 6A champion, and they're just incredible. And from top to bottom, I mean, you've got 5A, Seckinger. They're coming off a big win last night, beat Milton 8-5 to take first place in the region. You got Lassiter trailing them at number 2 in 4A, Harris County. Lanny Dansby's hitting .586 through 10 games, just crazy. Northside Columbus, the defending champion, at number 2. 3A, you've got Heritage Catoosa, which is 1.
Hey, Seth, let me stop you there real quick. Do we
Yes, sir.
have our graphic for the rankings? Can we go in and get that up, and we'll just start going down. I do want to bring up a couple of teams while we're talking about them. So, Seth, you talked about 6A, Buford, East Coweta, Brookwood, North Cobb, Grovetown, North Paulding, Archer, Grayson, Denmark, and Mill Creek. Beyond Buford and East Coweta and perhaps Brookwood and North Cobb, who are those other teams, Seth, out of North Paulding, Archer, Grayson, Grovetown, Denmark, Mill Creek, that might be able to surprise some people in the playoffs this year?
It's interesting. After the reclassification that combined down 6A and 7A, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we're a month and 10 days away from the playoffs, beginning, and then those playoffs will see the championships in Columbus. It'll be interesting to see at this point in the season through 10, 12 games for some teams. It's hard to put a finger on which team can make a run. Honestly, in that classification, you're going to be hard pressed to get past Buford, East Coweta. It's so. I would be
Seth,
surprised.
Najee wanted to ask you a question.
Quick question, Seth. I see you have Seckinger 5A as your number 1 team. I see that their football team's also off to a hot start. This is a very new school. What has impressed you the most about them so far?
Najee, I'm having a hard time hearing you, my man.
Can you hear me now?
Is that better, Seth? You want to go and ask him a question?
I'm having a hard time. I can hear you, IJ. It's having a hard time hearing Najee.
Okay. Wanted to ask you a little bit more about 5A and, what's going on there with Seckinger, Lassiter, Greenbrier, Pope, East Paulding, Creekview, Northgate, Houston County, Veterans, and Effingham County.
Yeah, I mean, Seckinger, they're ranked at the top. They played, I think, 3 or 4 seasons. Currently 11-1, 4-0 in Region 7 5A. Like I said, big win over Milton last night. And they've got a few players that are doing very well. Through 12 games, you've got Milan Suarez leading the team with 29 hits, 20 RBIs, hitting .644. Megan Witt, 23 hits, 29 RBIs, .535. Just they've got some quality players.
Real quickly, Seth, I'm going to run through the other rankings so people can hear about them. 4A, we've got Harris County, Northside Columbus, Eastside, Cartersville, North Oconee, Wayne County, Ola, Allatoona, Kell, and East Forsyth. 3A, Heritage, Catoosa, Pickens, Lafayette, West Lawrence, LaGrange, Whitewater, Southeast Bullock, Peach County, Cherokee Bluff, Harlem. Then in 2A, we've got Appling County, Hebron Christian, Cook, Morgan County, Rockmart, Sonoraville, Pike County, Prince Avenue Christian, Franklin County, and then Stevens County. And then Class A, Division I, Gordon Lee, Wesleyan, Heard County, Banks County, Toombs County, Social Circle, Bremen, East Lawrence, Bacon County, and Jasper County. And then, of course, Class A, Division II, we've got Lanier County, Georgia Military, Screven County, Irwin County, Wilcox County, Glasscock County, ECI, Bowdoin, Metter, Clinch. We are running short on time, Seth. We're going to hit you up every Wednesday for more volleyball. Seth, thanks for coming on, okay?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Seth.
All right. Next, we're going to have Eric Godfree of North Gwinnett.
Old-fashioned revenge. Your Atlanta Dream set to even the score against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. See all the action on Peachtree TV. Dream Fever, Sunday at 4 on Peachtree TV.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's this, that, and a whole lot of 5 days a week.
Let's go. Here we go.
It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 on Peachtree Sports Network.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, and batteries never need charging.
I was having a stroke, and I was scared to death.
If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Life Alert is a lifesaver.
My husband is alive because of Life Alert.
Life Alert is the lifesaver to keep me out of assisted living.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-344-6363. That's 1-800-344-6363. Call now, 1-800-344-6363.
Oh my gosh!
Nice! World Chase Tag is the Pro League tournament for the planet's most intense new game, which takes the art of being hunted down to a whole new level. It is relentless and fiercely intense, with a chaser having just 20 seconds to get a hand on an invader.
He's done it! He has done it!
And there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Tuesdays at 7 on Peachtree Sports Network. This is the home of the GOATs. Friday Night Lights. And home of the Ballers. This is home of the Gamers. Peachtree Sports Network is the home of the Hustlers. And home of the Speed Junkies. The Peach State plays here. Atlanta's home of live local sports is Peachtree Sports Network.
Okay, going back to 1.
This industry is my life. The Georgia film industry feeds my children, and it feeds my dreams, which are 2 very important things. The film community is a real vital ecosystem. You can make a living in an incredible town.
Real jobs, real impact. Support Georgia Films. Visit whygeorgia.com.
Georgia High School Sports Daily is presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. And by Smart Local 85. Sheet metal is a smart move.
All right, I want to welcome everybody back to the Georgia High School Sports Daily here on Peachtree Sports Network. A lot of other places that you can find us. Of course, we'll have an encore presentation of this show tonight at 11 o'clock. All right, want to bring in North Gwinnett coach Eric Godfree, good friend. Eric, of course, came over to North Gwinnett a couple of years ago from Parkview, has gotten off to a really good start. Eric, I've got to congratulate you on your win. Not many teams go down to Moultrie and beat Colquitt County, but your kids had a great game, 13 tackles for loss, gave up 219 yards. One of those plays was 62 yards on a halfback pass. You take that out, I mean, you really gave up about 150 yards. Eric, you have to be thrilled. You beat McEachern at Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic. Then you come back and go to Moultrie. That's a great start at 2-0.
Right, yeah, it really is. It's a tremendous start. And, starting with our preseason schedule with Mill Creek coming up this week, just worried about, where we're going to end up and be standing after leading the region. And as you said, to go to Colquitt, that's my first time there. I've been to Lowndes a few times, a great place to play, another tough place to play. But Colquitt is a with all between the travel and the heat, the humidity, and of course the stay, their fans and the speakers that they have, and just it's incredible atmosphere they have down there, and the reason they have the home record they have. So for us to come out with a win like that, for our defense to play as well as they played. Anytime you can play great defense, you always have a shot. So it really makes us feel good about what we have pushing forward.
Eric, it's a 5-hour drive, okay? So tell me, how did you set up last Friday? Tell me what time you left. I know typically you guys stop and do a walkthrough and eat, but just take us through the dynamics of going from North Gwinnett all the way to Moultrie and back.
Yes, yeah. So we left it where we started to load the bus at 9:05 in the morning. So we had a little breakfast thing for our kids that early in the morning, and it's 2 hours basically from here to Mercer University. And so we had talked to Mercer University about going down there and stopping and doing a walkthrough with those guys. My plan was, I've done it before with Parkview. It's really good. They got a great facility in there with their locker rooms and weight room, their team rooms, and just all their coaches' offices in the end zone. So the plan was to stop and to go in there, spend about an hour in Mercer, do our devotion, kind of do all of that stuff there and do a walkthrough in the stadium. We get down there, and there was still one more day left in the dead period. So the only thing we could do was be on the stadium field, and we were not allowed to go in their nice facility. And as you know, it was really, really hot on Friday. So we turned that hour into about 15, 20 minutes, did a walkthrough on the stadium field, real brief meeting, and then got back on the buses and made a little detour on the way. Buc-ee's is only about 20 minutes away. So we stopped at Buc-ee's for the kids, and of course they loved it. And that was, it took, 30, 35 minutes of time at Buc-ee's, and some of the kids is their first time, some have been before, and I tell you, they've got a genius model going on down there.
They do.
And then so that got us off the bus twice within a matter of 2.5 hours, which is nice. We try to make it into more like a school day. A whole thing of traveling. They're used to sitting in their seats for 50 minutes to an hour, get up, go to the next class, and all. So we want to try to make it as routine as possible. So that got us off the bus twice, and then we headed to the Golden Corral in Tifton, Georgia, and we called ahead and talked to them, and they took great care of us, did a great job, and our kids got to sit, eat buffet. That was our pregame meal down there, and then there's about 45 minutes from there. There's about 45 minutes to Tiff. To Colquitt. So we ultimately got off the bus 3 times to get off and walk and stretch and do something different before we even arrived at Colquitt. So put us a little more like a regular school day, so we weren't just cramped on a bus for that whole time riding in one direction.
Coach, tell us a little bit about your senior quarterback. He had won Offensive Player of the Game in the Cork Hill Dave Hunter Classic. How has he been progressing kind of since that point?
Right, yes, sir. I'd say he's a great leader for us in the field. He's the guy in the fourth quarter we want to have the ball. We didn't score points in the second half. We were, 14-3 at halftime, but we continued to move the ball, and he's a huge part of it. He made a great play in the third quarter. He made a great play to keep a drive alive. We ended up getting a holding call. It was on a third down. We get a holding call, moves us back, and so we got to execute another play, and he rolls out. And then he uses the speed. He sees an opening, and he takes off and goes down the sideline and picks up another. So we had the penalty called back to eliminate the third down, but then he picks it up with his feet and just does a great job extending another drive, keeping our defense off the field, extending offensive stuff for us. And in the fourth quarter, if it was, tough time, we're like, hey, we're going to, we're okay running some quarterback power read and different stuff with him to let him. If the ball's in his hands, we're in good hands.
Yes, sir. And I want to ask about the big matchup that you have coming up this week. You play Mill Creek, a well-coached team, a coach that's won a state championship. What stands out about the matchup, and what does your team need to do to come out with a win?
Right, as you said, they're 2 seasons plus this season's a 30-1 record. So they're really good, and their front seven on defense is phenomenal. They're really, really good, just all the way around. There's not a weak link in there. They're great football players. And most of them are going to go play well beyond high school football. And the same thing offensively. Their offensive line, running back, quarterback combination is really good. So it's going to be hard. This is going to be one of those games we're like, okay, we're going to have to get our tough yards running, but we've got to be able to pass protect well and be able to open up some pass game stuff. And then defensively wise, we got to keep running to the ball as we have. There's going to be a challenge because they run outside zone so well, and their quarterback he throws the ball really well.
So, Eric, let's talk a little bit about your region and this. You've got Mill Creek, and then I guess the next week you start with Brookwood, Parkview, Berkmar, Peachtree Ridge, Meadow Creek. You got Norcross, Duluth. That's a tough region, Eric.
Yes, sir, and that's what part of the playing these tough games early, so we can be ready for region play, because we open up, just you said, Brookwood, Parkview, two traditional, very good football teams. So, so we're looking forward to getting into the region and getting some home games, and to win. We be first or second in the region really kind of sets you up for playoffs. So it's important to get those early region wins. Yeah, and Eric, real quickly, I mean, you won your last state championship there at North Gwinnett in 2017. That was under Bill Stewart. You think you got the type of team that can take it all the way? Right. We're going to definitely be good enough to compete with whoever we line up and play against, and hoping the breaks continue to go our way. Well, Eric, we're big fans of you. North Gwinnett's always been a big part of Corky Kell, Dave Hunter Classic, and even when you were at Parkview, we were a big fan. So, but we like you at North Gwinnett, so we want to thank you so much. I love it here too. Thank you. Good luck, Coach. Good luck, Coach. Thank you so much. All right, you're watching the Georgia High School Sports Daily, and we'll be right back. We'll do middle school football.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
Hey, does it matter if this leaks?
It don't matter to me. Can't see it from my house.
Illegal use of hands, improper training.
GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com has 14 different highly skilled trades with tuition-free training in our certified apprenticeship programs to train you the right way. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back, we're gonna do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
The Mechanical Trades Institute is an opportunity towards personal financial freedom through hands-on and rewarding work. Our school is completely free and gives apprentices the knowledge and skills required to gain access to a lifelong career path. Apprentices learn pipe fitting, plumbing, mechanical service, and welding. They earn money as they learn and graduate with no student debt. Start a career with the Mechanical Trades Institute and change your financial future.
Welcome back to the Georgia High School Sports Daily on the Peachtree Sports Network, or PSN as we would like to call it. Najee Wilkins co-hosting with me today. Want to welcome in Alex Benson of Born to Compete. We had Alex on yesterday to have him do the first show, so it's good seeing you back. In fact, we might put a cot in the other room for you. Because I know it's a decent drive for you.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Yeah, it is. And it was fun talking about your son in Creekside yesterday.
You know what? I appreciate that, man. Again, Creekside, great coach over there, Coach Dixon.
Let me tell you, and before we want to get into middle school, I do want to say this about Coach Dixon. Absolutely one of my favorite guys. Yes. And I felt so bad this year, with the Rome situation, and and having to call him up and tell him that game was not going to be able to, because we had them Friday night, Corky Kell. That would have been really special, especially playing at Barron Stadium in Rome. I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of their AD, and the reason is, and what I love to see is, both of them went to Creekside, so it's fun to see them come back, and do what they've done for that school, and he's a class act, big fan of him. All right, so Alex, we're going to have this segment every Wednesday, okay. And one of the things that we're going to talk about are rankings. Okay, so before we get into the actual 8th grade rankings, where did this come from? I mean, before you have obviously your college rankings. There's power rankings for the NFL and for everything else, and you have high school rankings. But y'all have got to be one of the first to do the middle school rankings. And tell us how you do them.
No different than anybody else. Just have our staff out there. We have our staff out there. We have great connections to talk to the different ADs, teachers, coaches, the whole nine. And we make sure everybody's in position to have a great evaluation. We get the votes in from everybody, and we have the rankings come out.
And the kids love them.
They love them. They love them because it's two things, right? This is how kids understand. Kids want somebody that's authentic. So the fact that we're authentic, that we're there at the games, that we help them with college trips, all those kind of stuff, we're involved. And then also, too, they want to be seen.
All right.
So there you go. So when mama's little baby Joe, little baby Billy being talked about, they love that stuff.
All right, so let's talk about the 8th grade rankings this week. We've got the North Clayton Tigers on top, and then John Lewis Invictus. You'll have to tell us about that. But why North Clayton on top?
North Clayton, two-time defending state champions. They won Clayton County Middle Schools Championship 2 years in a row. Coach Washington, fantastic coach over there. He's done a great job. The Sergio Clark, quarterback, in 7th grade, won our leadership award at our big gala that we do. He's coming back this year. Rome Samuels, fantastic defensive line. He'll probably be an early offer kid, one of those early offer kids that we consider get offers in 8th grade. So he'll be one of those. And they're looking to come back. So they're looking to win 3 state championships in a row. Now, will that translate to high school? I don't know. That's Coach Cap over there. We'll see what he can do with that. But every year they have some fantastic players come out there for the past 3 years.
So tell us about. I'm sorry, go on, Nigel.
No, quick question I wanted to ask you. At number 3, you had Rome. I'm hearing a lot of buzz about this kid from Rome. They might have the next best quarterback, Zach Parker. Can you tell us about him a little bit?
He's legit. So you're looking at a kid that his 2 brothers are quarterbacks. So I think it's Jake, and I can't remember the middle brother's name, but he's at Rockmore. He started quarterback at Rockmore right now. And so you're looking at Zach Parker, right? Last year he was okay. He was good. Very good player. He comes to our All-American game, and, we got the best of the best out there, right?
Yep.
And he lights it up. He lights it up. And we're like, okay, we're watching him. Dad says he has to reclass the kid, which most quarterbacks do, in case anybody knows this. Most quarterbacks reclass in 8th grade. Reclass him, and he comes out there and lights it up against Keatron, and Keatron's been defending GMSAA champion. And he looks fantastic. So it's probably him, CJ Cypher, and a kid named Knox. I think he's in Dalton, or he's up north somewhere. Those are going to be the top 3 quarterbacks.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's pull the rankings back up on the screen for everybody, because there's a couple names that I'm not familiar with. So John Lewis Invictus, where are they from?
APS, Atlanta Public Schools. That's Coach Rendell Jackson over there. He's the AD, I'm sure you know, AD over at the middle school level. Fantastic players. Casey Barner was there last year. He won our tournament award, which is, I would say that's the equivalent to our Heisman. He did a fantastic job. Now he's at Douglas. They got a kid, DeAndre Hickson. He's an athlete. He's about 5'11", almost 6 foot. He can play multiple positions on the field. I think he's our next big receiver DB that's going to go into high school and put up great numbers. That's an early offer kid, a great player, and the coach over there, Coach Burns, knows what he's going to win.
All right, number 4. Let me ask you this. So of the top 4 schools you've got ranked in 8th grade right now, you've got 2 of them from APS. Okay, so how does that convert? Because Douglas, we had them in Corky, and they played great, and Mays typically is pretty good. And there's some, obviously, Carver's another one that's good. So how does, in those situations, how does APS keep those kids? Because I know that there are a lot of APS kids after middle school that get to high school, and they're not necessarily thrilled with the situation they're in, and they end up, transferring someplace out.
They do. Here's what I've noticed. With the Gwinnett, Cobb County, and certain other counties, they always keep their kids. All right? When I look at APS and probably Clayton County, those kids end up going everywhere. Everybody, they want those kids to play for the program, which they should. They're very good players. So I think now what Rendell Jackson has done over there is have better communication between the high school and the middle school. Because as you guys know, if you're looking at Cobb County and Gwinnett County and even down south, let's say South Georgia football, those middle schools, those high schools talk. They talk. And so they don't lose those kids. But when you're in a situation, maybe like Clayton County, APS, there's so many schools out there that people are coming in, poaching those kids and putting them in their program. So
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to do.
And I know, because I know a lot of APS kids end up at Douglas County. But real quickly, North Clayton, John Lewis, Invictus, Rome, Crawford, Long, Eagles Landing, Buford at 6,
Yeah.
Thompson 7,
Warner Robbins, we gotta give him a shout out. Yep, Justin Gardner.
Tequila at 8, and then we got Coffee County at 9.
I gotta say this.
Eddie White.
Tequila wanted to make sure I said this on air.
Okay.
Tequila Falcons end up beating Grayson. Grayson, very good team. Ryan Perry, a quarterback, did a good job, but the player of the game was Damian Billy, a kid that can play a lot of positions, but mainly a running back, and he did a good job. So they wanted to make sure I said that to you.
So Eddie White's 10. Is that another APS? Eddie White?
Lovejoy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Lovejoy?
Yep. How about this with Eddie White? Eddie White had won the middle school championship in Clayton County for many years, and that AD, for whatever reason, didn't let them participate in the championship series, right? They get a new county AD. He comes in, Philip Shiflett, I played football with in college. He's the assistant AD over there now in Clayton County. And Eddie White is in the championship again to win it. It was 2 years ago. And man, they lost it. My heart felt so bad for Coach Bell because he finally had a chance to make the championship series, and that's where North Clayton started making their run. So, cool story.
All right, real quick, we want to mention the 11 through 20. We've got Cedar Grove at 11, Milton at 12, Grayson at 13. You mentioned them. Tequila beating them. 14, Valdosta, Lawrenceville Black Knights at 15, Lassiter at 16. Good for Lassiter. 17, Chapel Hill. 18, McEachern, who's always good. 19, Flat Rock. And then, is that Lakeside, DeKalb?
That's Lakeside. I know you were thinking that.
Evans?
I knew you would think that. It's Lakeside out in Forsyth.
Lakeside. Hey, real quick before we let you go, I have a good friend who is, so Walton's 8th grade team, they actually have 2 teams.
Yes, they do.
Okay, they have an A and a B. He's actually coach of the B. Is there many other programs that have 2 teams, or are they about the only one?
They do if the program's big enough because you want to let kids play. At the end of the day, you want to let kids play. So you'll see that like in GFL, GMSA, you'll see that in those programs.
So Alex, real quick, your website so everybody knows.
Yeah, borntocompete.com. Most definitely come on there and see the next and upcoming players that we like to feature. Again, a lot of those players have gone on to do big time high school football, college football, and now doing great things in the pros.
Well, Alex, we appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you next week, okay? All right, coming up, a new segment that I think everybody is going to like, underrated and overlooked.
Old-fashioned revenge. Your Atlanta Dream set to even the score against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. See all the action on Peachtree TV. Dream Fever, Sunday at 4 on Peachtree TV. This is a Peachtree Sports Network weather update powered by Atlanta News First.
I'm meteorologist Cutter Martin with your Peachtree Sports Network forecast update. Lots of clouds, but these are mainly mid and high level clouds across the state of Georgia today. Rain chances pretty minimal, and we're really watching the coastal empire of Georgia for those hit or miss showers and thunderstorms. Think the I-95 corridor south of Interstate 16, the spot to watch for a couple of showers. All these clouds, middle and North Georgia moving in from the west to the east. So with any luck, maybe a nice sunset this evening, and temperatures trending cooler back into the upper 60s tonight into tomorrow morning once again in Atlanta. Even Macon scoring the 60s. Southern and eastern parts of the state warmer and muggier temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Let's talk about high temperatures tomorrow, ranging from the upper 70s in Gainesville, lower 80s in Atlanta, back to the mid 80s, Albany, Valdosta. Eventually cooler weather taking over the entire state's forecast as we get into the weekend.
Oh my gosh.
World Chase Tag is the Pro League tournament for the planet's most intense new game, which takes the art of being hunted down to a whole new level. It is relentless and fiercely intense, with a chaser having just 20 seconds to get a hand on an invader.
He's done it! He has done it!
And there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Tuesdays at 7 on Peachtree Sports Network. This is the home of the GOATs. Friday Night Lights and home of the Ballers. This is home of the Gamers. Peachtree Sports Network is the home of the Hustlers and home of the Speed Junkies. The Peach State plays here. Atlanta's home of live local sports is Peachtree Sports Network.
Okay, going back to one.
This industry is my life. The Georgia film industry feeds my children, and it feeds my dreams, which are two very important things. The film community is a real vital ecosystem. You can make a living in it in an incredible town.
Real jobs, real impact. Support Georgia Films. Visit whygeorgia.com.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's this, that, and a whole lot of 5 days a week.
Let's go. Here we go.
It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Jay Rosenberg here at the Score Atlanta studios. Of course, this is the Georgia High School Sports Daily on the Peachtree Sports Network. Najee Wilkins been with me for most of the show. I also want to introduce Craig Sager. He was, of course, with us yesterday. Real quickly on Craig, Craig and I and his father, of course, who passed, go way back. And I have to tell one quick story about Craig's dad, Craig Sager Sr., who was a really good reporter. We worked a lot from 1991 to 98 together on the Braves. But he's also the one on YouTube that you can watch when Hank Aaron hits his 750 home run. You can see him because he's like 6'4" in a trench coat, and he runs up to home plate. But his dad was a friend and an excellent reporter, and of course, one of the best dressed sports writers or sportscasters I've ever seen. Well, I want to bring everybody into underrated and overlooked in our segment. I'm going to let Najee and Craig take care of this, but these are definitely players that we don't talk about a lot, or you might not see a lot. But Najee, you want to start us?
Let's do it. So the first one, we're going to start with New Hempstead's quarterback, Rashawn Truwell, a 47-44 victory for them this past week. He had 466 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, another 2 rushing scores, and he also had a 50-yard bomb to Kamari Maxwell, who's featured on one of the top 10 plays in the state for week 3. So he absolutely balled out. Number 2, Brandon Lyons of Duluth. Don't feel like we talk about Duluth enough. Rushed for 185 yards and 2 touchdowns on 12 carries. In their 35-6 victory over Shiloh. And don't sleep on those Wildcats. They are 2-1 to start the season. Number 3, I think probably my favorite stat I've seen of these players, Lakeside Atlanta.
Press office that President Biden has been briefed by his Homeland Security advisor on the tragic shooting at Appalachian High School in Winder, Georgia, and the administration will continue coordinating with federal, state, and local.
Guy Noah Goddard came up so clutch in the Blessed Trinity road win over Prince Avenue Christian. That was just the first time since 2009 that Prince Ave lost back-to-back games. And part of that game plan was knowing that Noah would be able to kick those field goals. They held Prince Ave without a touchdown offensively in that second half, and his game winner came with just 1 minute 30 seconds left. He was a perfect 3 of 3 and also 6 of 6 on touchbacks. And then finally, Marcus Lindley from Douglas County. They had such a prolific day running the ball. 5 different guys ended up having a rushing touchdown in that game, but Lindley, a career high 23 carries, double the most touches he's had, and then 233 yards. When you look at how many talented players there are on Douglas County, he's already got 4 offers. But I'm telling you, these big schools start to see him play. He's got a big frame. If he's putting up numbers like that, I think the offers are going to continue to pile in.
And, it's interesting, Craig, talking about Douglas County. Of course, we saw them last year. I think they lost to Woodward in the semifinals, as I remember.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's true.
This team is more talented than last year, no doubt about it. We saw them at Corky Kell. They kicked Cedar Grove pretty hard. And Cedar Grove's a little bit down. I mean, it's not, they've won 3 of their last 4 state championships. But at the same time, just, if you look at them, from pretty much every part of their team, I mean, they've got top players at every position.
Yeah, what I think is scary about them is you look at the offense, all of their skill guys, it's mostly juniors.
Yes.
So this year is almost like, yeah, it's a great opportunity. I have them ranked number 1, but they know they're going to be here to stay next year too. So this is a big year where they can really just be aggressive, start to build that foundation, and it is pretty amazing the offensive abilities they have. I still don't think they've shown all their cards.
And I'm sorry, what were we going to say now?
No, I was just going to throw it to you. I know you wanted to bring up, obviously, one of your youth coaches.
Yeah, in a second. I did. I think we have a little bit of time left. And we need to talk about this in the future because you've got Milton and Douglas County on top of both their classifications. They played in the Corky Kell 7-on-7 finals. Milton won that game. Yeah. So we'll have to talk about that more on who's better at that. Yeah, I appreciate it. So, of course. Press Judy, who was a great basketball player at Georgia Tech, passed away at the age of 80. He was my first youth coach in any sport. I played basketball over at Briar Lake Church, okay? Little Jewish kid running around in a church gym. And Press was our coach. And we were so excited because, that was back, I think, in 71. So Press had played in the NBA for a couple years, had played in the ABA for a couple years, but certainly, miss Press and want to wish, the best to his family. Friday night, got a big game on PSN. That game will be Cartersville against Calhoun. Craig has pointed out to me that Cartersville, of course, these are different classifications now. Cartersville leads the series. I didn't even realize they were this big of an advantage, 32-7-1. But we'll have that game on PSN at 8 o'clock. And then, of course, tomorrow, we've got a great show. We're going to do our South Georgia Spotlight. We've got Coach Russell from Bremen High School, of course, who has a player that was critically injured last week. We'll talk to him. So we're really looking forward to tomorrow's show. So we want to thank everybody for joining us for the Georgia High School Football Daily, powered by IBW of Local 613. We'll see you tomorrow.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know, just take it off. Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
Are you interested in becoming a deputy or a jailer? Gwinnett County, together, we can make a difference.
Basic combat training.
That's the man. Peyton Manning stepping out. It's the Zion Show. Passes.
I hear about it happening all around the world, but it shows that it can happen anywhere. And,
This community's pretty small, tight-knit. I mean, it's usually
there's really no seriously gunplay or nothing like that goes on around Bethlehem. It hasn't been for years. It hasn't been that I can remember, and I'm 35 years old, so it's not really likely. So apparently, I don't know. I don't have no details, but apparently something was going on with somebody's mental. So that just shows that people need to be more aware of their children, if it was a child, about their mental state, because nobody never knows what the next man can do.
And those are details we're still trying to work out as far as what happened and what the motive may have been. But thank you so much, Mark, for your time. You as well. And Mark was telling us he lives right across from the high school. He says, of course, it's just been chaos out there this morning. All kinds of police officers, parents, children. He was actually walking towards us with his head down. He said, I just need to step away from this for a little bit. He said he's walking up to the store to just take a breath. I mean, even people that really aren't